What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're doing another ranking video. We will be ranking all the figures I have that have any correlation with the Romero zombies. So what I have in my collection, I have the Day of the Dead figure line, I have the NECA Dawn of the Dead figure line, and I also have the Soda Toys Land of the Dead figure line. So we will be ranking all the figures in that wave from worst to best. Now, again, with you guys kind of know I like all the figures I get for the most part. I don't really like to buy figures I don't like, so I do like all these figures quite a bit. So being the worst isn't exactly, you know, a bad thing. I highly recommend every figure in this series, but someone has to be last, and let's see who my least favorite of the Romero zombie action figure collection that I own. Coming in last place is the action figure of Bub. This is, like I said, this is a great figure. It's one of the first Romero zombies I was able to accumulate, so there's always that. I just think that the other figures in these collection that I have is a little bit more superior. I do like the base of Bub. I think it's really cool. He comes with a bunch of accessories, but I only have him displayed with his bucket, also his gun, you know, because Bub, he can shoot. His bucket and his gun, and I have him on his base where he obviously spends a lot of the portion of Day of the Dead. Now, Bub is an iconic zombie, but, you know, as far as the figure goes, I don't think it's the most accurate portrayal, but I think for the time it's really good. But that's why it is where it's at, and that's why it's not my favorite, and it would be my least favorite of my Romero zombies. Now, I have 8 figures in total, so this is number 8, so let's see what number 7 is. Coming in at number 7 by Soda Toys, it is from the Land of the Dead movie, George Romero's big Hollywood blockbuster of the zombie known as Big Daddy, played by Eugene Clark, who, side note, is one of the coolest guys and funnest guys you ever meet at a convention. He dresses up. He will literally like eat you like a zombie. He's a real good time. He's a really fun guy, and I highly recommend if you have an opportunity to meet Mr. Eugene Clark to do it. He really loves this character, and you can tell just by meeting him how much this character means to him. But why is he here? Well, because as though I love this figure, I do think it's a more stylized version of Eugene, and I don't think the likeness is all there. Obviously, you know it's definitely Big Daddy. You know for sure it's a great looking figure, but as you can see by the face sculpt, it's a lot more stylized and realistic, and it's weird because I feel like out of all the figures in this series, he's the only one that's kind of stylized. I think the Savini Blade character zombie, you know, obviously Blade from the character that he plays from Dawn of the Dead is a zombie in Land of the Dead. So the Savini zombie, I think it looks a lot like Tom Savini. The Butcher character, he looks a lot like the Butcher. But for some reason, this one's pretty stylized, and I'm not really sure. But other than that, I do love the figure. That's why it comes in at number 7. Let's see what number 6 is. Number 6 goes to the Butcher from the Soda Toys Land of the Dead line. And I think this figure is really awesome. And like I said, I feel like he looks a little bit more accurate than, you know, the Big Daddy did. That's why he's ahead of it, although the Big Daddy is the most prevalent in the movie. But this is like Big Daddy's right-hand man, right? But I do think he's really great. I really love the face sculpt and the detailing and his meat cleaver. Just a really cool zombie. And I just love the way Romero zombies look. So to have a little small Romero zombie collection is a big deal to me, especially because like Romero and John Carpenter are like, you know, film gods to me. They're my 2 all-time favorite directors. But yeah, this is what was it, number 6? Let's see what number 5. Number 5 goes to the Tom Savini zombie. What's cool about this is a reoccurring character from the classic George Romero film Dawn of the Dead, which is one of the greatest movies of all time. Not just zombie movies, but movies of all time. And he plays the zombie version of his character, Blade, from Dawn of the Dead. And I think what's really cool is that you could tell that this is Tom Savini. And Tom Savini is one of makeup legends, and he also directed my all-time favorite zombie film of all time, which was the remake of Night of the Living Dead, which is the first zombie movie I've ever watched, and till this day, it's why I love zombies, and it's my favorite zombie film. But yeah, this figure is amazing. I really love the Land of the Dead line. I highly recommend, if you guys can get it for inexpensive, to please pick these figures up. They're really awesome, especially if you're a big fan of George Romero. These ones are a lot easier to find than the NECA Dawn of the Dead figures, which you see a lot higher on the list. But yeah, this is where were we at here? 6 or 5, whatever. I don't know. I'll correct it in the next one. Let's see what the next figure is. Coming in at number 4 is from Day of the Dead. You see him right here. It's Dr. Tongue. He's only in the beginning of the movie, but he is such a cool looking zombie, such a great design. I think it captures the likeness of the character from the movie really well. I think the sculpt is really cool, and I was really happy. This is, I think, like probably like the second figure I got in the Romero. I think I got the Dawn of the Dead figures first. Then obviously Land of the Dead, and I was able to last get all the Dawn of the Dead figures. That took me the longest. But yeah, this is my number 4 without a doubt. Let's get to the top 3, which is obviously process of elimination. It's the NECA Dawn of the Dead line. Now we got to see what order they come in. Coming in at number 3 is Flyboy from Dawn of the Dead NECA Toys Cult Classic line. This was the last figure I got for the Dawn of the Dead line. This was the one that took me the longest to find. He was the most expensive, but I finally found him for a really good price. And Steven, the character Steven Flyboy in Dawn of the Dead, is his zombie performance, one of the best zombie performances. Actually, so far that George Romero said it was his favorite zombie performance. And I've always loved the look of Flyboy. So I kind of figured this would be my favorite, but when I got to it, maybe it's because I had the other two for so long, and maybe I grew accustomed to it. But it's funny, the one I thought would be my least favorite became my favorite, and the one that I thought would become my favorite became my least favorite of the NECA Dawn of the Dead line. So it's weird how that goes, but I do love this figure, and I highly, highly, highly recommend the NECA Toys Dawn of the Dead line. Coming in at number 2 is the NECA Toys Dawn of the Dead Cult Classics of the Plaid Shirt Zombie. I really love the way this one looks, and it's such an iconic scene with Ken Foray. And obviously, I love the 3 zombies that they chose to give us from the NECA Dawn of the Dead movie, because they're so 3 iconic zombies, so much so that he's the cover of the movie. You know, as you can see, the face sculpt, and then you can see the movie cover, face sculpt, movie cover. So, yeah, he is the cover of Dawn of the Dead. This is my number 2 favorite. I love it. Now, through process of elimination, you can guess my number 1, so let's go get him. Coming in at number 1 is the Hare Krishna zombie from, obviously, the NECA Dawn of the Dead Cult Classic line. This was the one that I didn't think, this was the one I least wanted, and it was the first one I was able to get. It was the one I was able to get for the most inexpensive price. And the longer I had this figure, the more and more I love it. I just think it's so accurate to the movie, from the color to the costume. He even comes with boxes of Spam when it's back on my shelf. If you actually go to my horror collection, you can see him with his boxes of Spam. But no, this is my all-time favorite zombie figure that I have in my collection. I just think there's something so awesome about this figure, and it's just so film accurate. Just really, really love it a lot. That blue skin that Tom Savini gave these zombies is just so iconic at this point. Yeah, so I really love this figure. This is my number 1 favorite Romero zombie in my collection, without a doubt. And I hope you guys like this video. Please comment down below and subscribe.